When I tell you that making perfect hash browns is easy, I mean it. There is only one ingredient, but there is one rule, and that rule is it takes 30 minutes to make hash browns. And I mean it, 30 minutes. If you don't have 30 minutes, make toast. I'm going to show you how easy it is to make crispy on the outside, moist on the inside hash browns every time. And we're going to start by peeling a potato. Now, I'm going to peel, this is a russet potato or a baking potato. And this is the potato of choice for hash browns. But I have made them with Yukon Gold and red potatoes, sometimes whatever I have on hand. And I've had just as much luck with that too. But these starchy ones are the ones that are usually recommended. So one russet potato. Okay, now that looks pretty good. Okay, there's my peeled potato. And now what we're going to do is grate the potato. And this is the perfect size right here. I don't know what this is called, but that size of hole on the grater is perfect. Because if you use a hole too small, you'll get mushy potatoes. If it's too big, they won't cook. So this is the perfect size. So you just grate it. It takes maybe a minute to grate one big russet like this. Okay, so we're getting close to the end here, and of course you have to be careful. I don't mind wasting a little bit of potato, but I try to throw away the last little bit so that I don't cut my fingers. So there it is. It's one grated potato, and this is how much, look at how much you get from one russet potato like that. That should be enough just for me. You think I'm kidding? I love hash browns. Okay, now this is an important step. We're going to get the moisture out of this potato, and as we're doing that, we're going to preheat the pan because you get the biggest pan you have. This is my big, huge pan. Preheat it to about medium high, and I'm going to put in like about a teaspoon of olive oil. Okay, that's it. No need to use butter. Heart healthy olive oil. Now this is the fun part and the important part. We're going to take the potatoes, and we're going to get as much moisture out as possible, and it might take more than one time. Okay, so I have 4-ply of paper towels here, and so I just kind of spread them out like that, and I roll them up, and you just squeeze out the moisture. You can see it's already on the cloth like that, and there's quite a bit in here, so if you get this much moisture in the paper towel, we're going to do it again. So I will put another towel down here. I know it's messy, but it does take some commitment. It's really important to get all the moisture out. So this potato is requiring 2 rollings like that. So you just spread it out so it touches as much of the paper. You know what I'll do? I'm going to take even extra paper towels. Go like this on top and then roll it, and that should do it. That should do it. Squeeze it, and there's very little moisture coming out to the towel. Sorry about my mess, look at this. And then I put them in a bowl, just so I can kind of fluff them up a little bit, and gives me a place to kind of add the salt and pepper. So that's it. You just kind of brush it off the paper. Okay, now, and I can pick up these pieces. Okay, so there it is. It's nice and dry. It's not very wet at all. And all you do is just add a little salt and pepper to taste. It doesn't take much because you can always add salt later, but don't put too much in. So I'll put a little bit of salt in and a little bit of pepper. And while you're doing that, I usually do it with my hand because it keeps it kind of light and fluffy. Okay, so it's all mixed up. And now the pan should be preheated. And it's a non-stick pan, so I just kind of shake the olive oil around a little bit to move it around. And then, that's what you want to hear. They go on the pan. And I do this by hand too, and just kind of make it so it's fairly even throughout. And then I just kind of bring in the edges, because the edges will get browner, so I just kind of bring them in a little bit. Give it a little bit of a nice shape. Now I turn it down to, there. Turn it down to medium-low. And now, 15 minutes before you touch them, you turn them over once and cook them another 15 minutes. So you have to wait 15 minutes, and I mean it, I'm not kidding. You go make the bed, go make coffee, drink coffee, I don't care, but 15 minutes, you don't touch them, you don't turn them, do nothing, okay? Don't make me come over there. 15 minutes. Oh, I love it. Okay, it's been 15 minutes. It's time. First, you want to check the bottom, which we're going to do, but see how the edges are? Nice and brown. And I think depending on, you have to figure out what your stove and your pan work at. This is like between medium and medium low. So, and I'm going to just check the bottom. Oh, can you see that? Okay, now this is a big thing of hash browns. I'm going to try and flip it over. Okay, wish me luck. Here I go. Ready? And there, look at that. How awesome is that? That's exactly what they should look like. They smell good. And if you're nervous about, see, when it's this big, you may have to cut it to flip it over, but when it's cooked right and browned, it holds it together. So, but if you have to, you can just take a spatula and slice it and flip it over. Now what I also do is I scoot it over to the side a little bit. And again, you want to use the biggest pan that you have. And again, a little bit more olive oil. It'll help it really crisp up and brown just on the edges. And then you'll see that's nice and hot. And then I just kind of run it down like that, turn it around. That gets it all over. And there we are. Now here's the deal. 15 minutes, don't touch it, don't turn it, don't just leave it alone. I'll be back in 15. Okay, it's been 30 minutes. You still want to check underneath and make sure they're done, but it's looking pretty good. Let's take a peek under there. Look at that. Nice and brown and crisp, fantastic. Turn off the stove, bring it over here, and it slides right off with my nonstick pan. Now, seriously, look, it does not get any better than this. Look at that. Crispy, golden hash browns. Here's the thing, no butter, heart healthy olive oil, only 3 things to remember. Squeeze out the moisture, preheat the pan, and 30 minutes. That's what it takes to make these beautiful, awesome, oh my God, if only I had a fork, but I don't. Look at this. Can you hear that? That's it right there. Perfect hash browns. You gotta try it. 30 minutes, I mean it. I'll come to your house.